My resolution is honesty is the best policy, affirmative. Honesty is the best policy means it's better to tell the truth than it is to lie. My first main point is lying makes you unreliable. 96% of Americans admit to lying. If you're one of the people who constantly lie, when your friends find out, they won't want to trust you since they can't believe everything you say. Also, when Hernan Cortez was conquering Mexico, he lied to the Aztecs about his identity in order to kill them and get their gold. If he didn't lie, they could have made a deal for Cortez to get some of the gold in exchange for weapons or horses. Second, honesty makes a point. Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. was honest and showed his feelings with the civil rights movement, and even though it was after he died, his goal for equal rights was achieved. If someone thinks you're their friend, but you really don't like them, it's best to tell them you aren't friends rather than let them keep believing you're friends and hurting their feelings even more when they finally find out that you were fake the entire time. My opponent might say, what if you're trying to protect someone? Shouldn't you lie about where they are? Well, yes, if you're certain you should be protecting them. What if the person you're protecting lied to you about why you should protect them? What if they just wanted you to protect them so that they could gain something, but they don't really care? Would you really want to protect them then? Lying might always be the easiest thing to do, but it isn't the best thing to do. It's easier to lie than tell the truth, but as Tom Wilson said, honesty is the best image. Honesty lets others know who you are, not who they think you are, based on your clothes or who you spend time with. Thank you. I now stand ready for cross-examination.
So Will, you have 2 minutes to cross-examine Kenneth, and that's 3 minutes that we can.
Have you ever told a lie?
Yes.
Why did you tell this lie?
I told the lie so I wouldn't have to do something in dance.
So at this time, you would agree that honesty was not the best policy?
Well, it probably was the best policy since my teacher was asking who could do something and I could do it. But since I didn't really want to do it, I lied to her and told her I couldn't.
But wouldn't you agree that since you lied, you at yourself at this present time agreed that honesty was not the best policy?
I knew that it wasn't the right thing to do, though I did it anyway.
Why did you do it if you don't agree with it?
Because I really didn't feel like doing what my teacher wanted me to do.
So at this time, you would agree that honesty was not the best policy for your benefit?
Yes, for my benefit.
Moving on. According to very accurate history, in the uprisings of communist countries such as China and Russia back in the early 1900s, there were unfortunate scenarios in which possible capitalists and or oppositions of the revolution were detained, captured, and unfortunately tortured to admit things that in some cases they didn't do. Are you aware of this, as it was in our units?
Yes.
If you were a prisoner in this scenario, would you lie to your captives by admitting to something you didn't do to get out of the painful torturing?
Well, that's a different scenario, entirely different than one that we would face today.
But you would agree that if you were in this scenario, you would not be honest.
Most likely, no.
So, if you were in this perspective, then honesty would not be the best policy.
If someone was about to kill me because of something that I might have not done, then yes, honesty is not the best policy.
So then you would agree that
Fine. Well, you have 3 minutes for your opening statement, and that will begin.
Honesty is the best policy, Nick. To start, I simply disagree that honesty is the best policy. Although to follow, there are just simply other, better alternatives. By always being truthful in every scenario, you might actually affect yourself negatively or even worse other people. 100% honest 100% of the time is not the best policy. My first point. Appear weak when you are strong, appear weak when you are weak. Or appear strong when you are weak. This is a famous quote from the general known as Sun Tzu, who wrote the very famous Art of War, which almost every general follows to this day. In times of war, it is in some cases necessary not to be 100% honest by using deception to your advantage. A general does not simply tell the opposing side what his plan is, how many soldiers he has, or what positions he has taken. Camouflage is another great example of deception during wartime. By using colors of local plant life you are able to deceive the enemy into thinking you are not currently where you are positioned. My second point. Exaggeration is always fun to use in speech, whether it to be your friends or associates. A quote from the Jewish proverb states that half the truth is a whole lie. Although the word lie is somewhat vague, isn't exaggeration just half the truth? It's just human nature to excel, whether it be with actions or how you describe your actions. Again, it is just simply human nature. If you feel uncomfortable admitting to yourself that complete honesty is not always the best policy, look at this statistic. Over 96% of all Cary Academy middle school students have been to the truth at least a few times in their life. And look at us now. We all have a very successful academic career and a very positive career in the future. We belong to a great community with lots of people and different personalities, and we're all glad to be a part of it. Or perhaps look at when Christopher Columbus sailed the seas in search for India, but stumbled upon the Bahamas. When he returned home from Spain from his voyage, Columbus gave a report to the Queen of Spain, describing the land mainly Cuba and Hispaniola. By exaggerating their size and wealth, and also emphasizing that the natives were extremely docile. This proved positive towards Columbus, as he became extremely wealthy for his amazing discovery. Although inevitable for the Americas to be conquered by the Europeans in time, Columbus exaggerated to the Queen to get more travelers and explorers under the Spanish throne to conquer the foreign lands before any other countries did, beneficial to the Spanish throne. My opponent may have argued that honesty is not always the best policy, without any exceptions. But I contradict this by saying 100% honesty, 100% of the time, is not always the best course of action. Essentially, honesty is not the best policy, as history has shown us repeatedly deception and, in some cases, exaggeration are essential. I now stand ready for cross-examination.
Hannah, you have 2 minutes to cross-examine Will, and the 2 minutes begin now.
Would you want a friend who only lies?
Possibly.
So you want your friend to never say anything that's true?
I mean, I wouldn't doubt him if he lied.
Could you say it again?
Oh, I apologize. I wouldn't mind if my friend lied, but to be honest, it's his decision. To lie is his decision. I wouldn't really mind.
So you'd not care if one of your friends lied to you 100% of the time?
No.
Why not?
Well, it's his decision, really.
Have you ever lied?
Yes.
Did it feel good to lie?
Yep.
Who was it you were lying to?
My sister.
Were you lying about something important or just something small?
Something small.
Would you think that if you were lying about something big, like something that happened that you wouldn't want her to know about, do you think that it would be better to lie or tell the truth?
To lie.
Why?
Because that's the best scenario for me.
But what if lying would hurt your sister?
Well, it's how she feels about the lie.
If she wanted you to tell her the truth, yet you still decided to tell the lie, how do you think that would make her feel?
Well, would she find out about it?
If she did, how would she feel?
Well, I mean, it really depends on the person.
Time. You each have 1 minute to finish your closing statement. return to the podiums. Okay, Hannah, you have 1 minute for your closing statement, and that time begins.
I believe honesty is the best policy for many reasons. Lying is easier than telling the truth, but one lie about one thing could turn into a huge web of lies about many things. When you're stuck in a web of lies, it gets even harder to tell the truth, but if you don't, someone else will likely find out. My opponent argued it's someone's decision whether to lie or tell the truth. But if you've only ever lied and never told the truth, then no one would really know you or be able to connect to you in the way a true friend would. Honesty shows that you can be trusted, that you can be depended upon for help. When you can be depended upon for help, you will have true friends. Telling the truth is really the best thing to do. Thank you.
Gabriel, you have 1 minute for your closing statement, and that time begins.
I argue that absolute honesty is not always the best policy. There have been many times where in history has shown us with examples that this is not true. Famous documents in popular literature also show us with quotes that this policy is not always viable. Lying to a friend means you are my opponent may argue that lying to a friend means that you are unreliable, but you shouldn't shouldn't you be able to spare their feelings by not bending the truth? For example, picture your friend and they come up to you. They're nervous about an upcoming test. They tell you that they haven't studied and they don't think that they can pass. Do you tell them the honest truth and tell them that it's all over and they have no hope? Or do you spare their feelings by saying that you have full confidence in them and you'll agree? To summarize, by proving that there are some scenarios in which you should lie, I agree that complete honesty is not the best option.